Highest paying cities in the US for nurses. Which ones do you think they are? I definitely have an idea of what cities I think are highest paying, but comment below before I even get further into this video of what cities you think are the highest paying here in America. Let's jump right into today's video. I wanted to know this information, so I went searching and I found this list on registerednursern.com. But all the information is actually from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, these nurses in these cities, in the top 5 cities, make well over $100,000. But actually, it was the top 25 cities on this list all make over $100,000 a year. Now, compare that to the lowest paying city here in America. That is in Puerto Rico. And that nurse is only making $27,000 a year. That's quite the difference. Now, of course, a lot goes into a nurse's pay, like nurses' unions, supply and demand. What else is there? Cost of living. But isn't it hard to believe that one nurse can make well over $100,000, $150,000, and another nurse is only making $27,000 a year? Well, let's get started. Let's get into this list. So let's start with number 5, and this is the 5th highest paying city here in America for nurses. This list is not based off of BSN degrees or associate degrees or diploma degrees or master's degrees or NP. This is just simply the RN license. So starting with number 5, we are in Salinas, California. Shocker there, we're in California. A nurse here on average makes $63.54 an hour, which is quite the difference from that Puerto Rico nurse making over just over $13 an hour. And to put this into perspective just a little bit more for cost of living, the average rent of a studio apartment in Salinas, California is about $1,392. So not moving very far away, we're in California again for number 4. So this is more so a region in California. This is the Sacramento, Roseville, Arden, Arcade, California region. The hourly pay is not a big increase, but it is the 4th highest paying city area. And that comes in at $64.59 an hour, which brings you to just over $134,000 a year. It's $134,350 a year. And looking at rent in Sacramento, I found that the studio apartment on average can cost, this is a big gap, anywhere from about $1,300 a month to $7,000 a month. But I will say, living here in Atlanta, it depends what kind of apartment you want. Do you want something really fancy right in the heart of everything? Or do you want to be on the outskirts a little bit, but still considered in the city, but it's not within walking distance to everything? So that's why I understand the big gap there. All right, so number 3, can you guess where this is bringing us? Back into California. This is also a region. Number 3 is the Vallejo, Fairfield, California region. Now this was a little bit bigger jump on the hourly wage. It comes to $68.34 an hour, which is just over $140,000 a year. And y'all remember, this is your average bedside nurse. This isn't a travel nurse. This isn't internal contract nursing. This is just your average staff position at a hospital. Now, I will say this does not beat current travel nursing pay or local travel nursing pay, but it is very, very good. Now, with internal travel nursing on the rise, I will say, I know nurses here in Atlanta making $70 or close to $70 an hour, and that's as an internal travel nurse. If you don't know anything about internal travel nursing, go back to one of my other videos. I have a lot of videos on internal travel nursing, and the one specifically you should watch is the next big thing, internal travel nursing. That'll tell you what it is all about. But moving on through, the average rent for a studio apartment in Vallejo right now is about $1,400 a month. These 3 cities are not too far off from each other, and I'm actually surprised that that's the average for a studio apartment, because here in Atlanta, when I was not in this house and when I was in an apartment with my husband, we were paying about $1,800 a month for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 950 square foot apartment. And we weren't even in the heart of the city. We were actually in a different area, but still considered Atlanta. All right, so let's keep going. Number 2 is also, of course, in California. We have the San Jose, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, California region. Now this is jumping into the higher 140s a year. The nurse on average brings about $70.61 an hour in this region. That averages $870 a year. Now I have read that San Jose is the 3rd most expensive, largest city here in America to live in though. But it also makes sense why this is number 2 on our list because of cost of living. And the average cost for rent in this area for a 1-bedroom apartment is $2,000 a month. All right, but lastly, our first, the highest paying city here in America for a nurse is in San Francisco, Oakland, Hayward area. A nurse here on average makes $71.73 an hour, which averages out to be just under $150,000 a year. But a studio apartment in San Francisco will land you about $2,100 a month. Average cost for a 1-bedroom in San Francisco is $3,300 a month, which is not shocking at all. But this list had me wondering why all of the cities on this list were all in California. So I did some more research, and here's actually some good points of why all these cities, or why California pays so well. I found an article titled "California Registered Nurses Are Paid the Best in the US," or in US. The article went into talking about how, yes, the cost of living, of course, made this higher, but there was a law that was passed in 1999 mandating the nurse-to-patient ratios in California. And let me read you this tidbit from this article. In 1999, California passed a law that established minimum nurse-to-patient ratios in hospitals, driving up demand for registered nurses in particular. In a 2009 study, Spetz and colleagues found that from 2000 to 2006, registered nurses in California's urban centers saw their wages rise as much as 12% more than RNs in other states. This makes me want to know your opinion on this. Do you think that passing a mandated nurse-to-patient ratio law nationwide or statewide, state to state, would help increase nurses' wages because of supply and demand, and you can't take on those extra patients, you have to have another nurse, which would make people hire more nurses? What are your thoughts on that? Poor staffing can cause a lot of errors, and I have personally seen this at the bedside, especially over this last year as I've been traveling to different hospitals. Because not only are there a lot of travel nurses in these hospitals, but there are a lot of travel doctors working in these hospitals too. But again, comment below what you think about mandatory patient to nurse ratios. I would love to hear your thoughts. So the place to be is California if you want to make the most money as a nurse. But then again, you have to think to yourself, do you want to deal with the cost of living? But that is it for today, y'all. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I want to hear your opinions, so comment down below. I would love to get some conversation going. Other than that, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.